that's what the good Lord is. Tell me where it's gonna be. Tell me where it's gonna be. Tell me where it's gonna be. Out in the air, hungry in the bear, but I came out nowhere. Well, I found me a knife in the cupboard drawer, found me some honey in the honey jar, found me some butter in the dock in the creek, but I can't find a cornbread to save my neck. Tell me where it's gonna be. Tell me where it's gonna be. Tell me louder where it's gonna be. Smell in the air, hungry in the bear, but I can't find nowhere. That's right. Clear on the rats, it's an empty man. How in the world could the be so dumb? Eat up all the cornbread and leave me the crumbs. Tell me where it's gonna be. Tell me where it's gonna be. Tell me where it's gonna be. Out in the air, hungry in the bed, but I can't find nowhere. Oh, tell me where it's gonna be. Tell me where it's gonna be. Tell me where it's gonna be. Out in the air, hungry in the bed, but I can't find nowhere. That's right. The story of the apple and the banana. I was sitting in my kitchen one day when an apple said to me, you know, I'm just about the sweetest thing that you would ever see. If you were smart, you'd reach right out and take a bite of me. Yep, an apple is just the bestest fruit that ever there could be. Well, right about then, a banana spoke up, and this is what he said. You know, if I was you, I'd think twice before I bit old Red. I heard that eating apples was really quite a chore. You gotta watch just where you bite, where you chomp down on that core. Well, buddy, the apple said, you ain't all that hot. Bananas are long and yellow, and they got them dark brown spots. And if you eat a green one, it might just make you sick. And if you slip on the peel and fall down, you might just break your neck. Well, I got tired of them and arguing at me, and I decided to shut them up and end their misery. I couldn't decide which one was right or which one was even close, so just to get a little better idea, I decided to eat them both. And you know, both of them were different in many, many ways. One, I ate the peel right down, but the other, I threw it away. One was hard, one was soft. One was red, one yellow. One, the seeds just slid right down, but the others got stuck in my craw. But both of them tasted mighty good. And both of them grow on a tree. And both of them are what we call fruit. And both are good for me. And so, I learned a little lesson and I'll pass it on to you. So the next time your fruit gets in a fight, you'll know just what to do. All of us are different, but all of us are the same. We've all got things in common, but we go by different names. We're different colors and we're different sizes, but everyone you meet, just like the apple and the banana, we're all just a little bit sweet. And that's the story of the apple and the banana. I'm really glad to be able to do this song next to the Yadkin River. I live not too far from the Yadkin River, at the other end of the valley, down there in Davie County. And down there, the river's a little bigger than it is right here in Happy Valley. And one thing that we have learned about the river down there is that it was a real problem for the folks that lived in North Carolina hundreds of years ago. Every time they got to a river, they had a problem. They had to cross it to get to the other side. There was no bridge. There was usually a place called a ford, which was a shallow place in the river where they could walk across. But if the river was too high, they couldn't do that. So somebody back there got the idea that what they needed to do was tie a barge to a cable and create a ferry. Everywhere where the trails and roads came to the river. And the people that ran these ferries, well, the scenery didn't change much for them. It was back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, all day long, every day, every week, every month, every year. And I expect if these people got that attitude, they'd become pretty ornery people. So I wrote a song about one of these guys. His name is Jake the Ferryman. My name is Jake, I'm the ferryman. All across the river just as fast as I can. I got blisters on my hands and blisters on my skin. If I ain't going fast enough, I guess you'll have to swim. I haul my boat back and forth all day, hauling them boats and hauling that hay. Chickens and pigs and horses too. If you give me a nickel, I'll even haul you. My name is Jake, I'm the ferryman. All across the river just as fast as I can. I got blisters on my hands and blisters on my skin. If I ain't going fast enough, I guess you'll have to swim. One day I was hauling a farmer and his cow. One jumped in and proceeded to drown. He said I was sorry, but the farmer didn't care. He said I had to pay him for the cow that wasn't there. I said no way I was gonna pay him. It ain't my fault that the cow couldn't swim. As soon as the farmer rode out of sight, we fished out the cow and had steaks at night. I hauled my boat back and forth all day, hauling them boats and hauling that hay. Haul my boat when I froze to the bone, haul my boat when I wanna go home. If you wanna make an omelet, you gotta have some eggs. If you wanna take a walk, you gotta have legs. If you wanna sail a ship, you gotta have a sea. But if you wanna cross this river, you're gonna pay me. My name is Jake, I'm the ferryman. All across the river just as fast as I can. I got blisters on my hands and blisters on my skin. If I ain't going fast enough, I guess you'll have to swim. That's Jake's song. Thank you.
Let's do it.
Oh, Marcy.
I'm ready to go watch.
I got home the other night and drunk I could not see. And I found me, my horse, a horse, where my horse ought to be. Oh, wifey dear, explain this thing to me. Why this horse is standing where my horse ought to be.
Well, you old fool, you stupid fool. It's plain as day to see. Ain't nothing but a milk cow my granny give to me.
I've traveled this whole world over 10,000 miles or more, but a saddle on a milk cow I've never seen before. When I came home the other night, so drunk I could not see, I found a shirt a-hanging where my shirt ought to be. Oh, wifey dear, explain this thing to me. Why is this shirt a-hanging where my shirt ought to be?
Well, you old fool, you stupid fool. It's plain as day to see. Ain't nothing but a dish rag my granny give to me.
I've traveled this whole world over 10,000 miles or more, but buttons on a dish towel I've never seen before. When I came home the other night, so drunk I could not see, I found I had a laying where my hat ought to be. Oh, wifey wifey dear, explain this thing to me. Why's this hat a-laying where my hat ought to be?
You old fool, you stupid fool, it's plain as day to see. Ain't nothing but a chamber pot my granny give to me.
I've traveled this whole world over 10,000 miles or more, but a J.B. Stetson chamber pot I've never seen before. When I got home this other night, as drunk as I could be, I found somebody's head laying where I is supposed to be. Oh, wifey dear, explain this thing to me. Why is this head laying where my head ought to be?
Old fool, you stupid fool, it's plain as day to see. Ain't nothing but a cabbage head my granny give to me.
I've traveled this whole world over 10,000 miles or more, but a mustache on a cabbage head I've never seen before.
I got my dog don't bark.
Here's a story about a bear. This bear wasn't necessarily a bad bear, but he didn't like to share. Once there was a bear who didn't have a care. The only problem with him was he didn't like to share. And all day long you'd hear that little song. Bears don't have to share 'cause they're so strong. He wouldn't share his food with the creatures that he knew because he ate like a bear, like all bears do. And he wouldn't share his den in the cold and the wind, though there was plenty of room for the creatures to come in. And he wouldn't share his berries, and he'd always get very angry and upset and oh so quite contrary. But most of all, he wouldn't share his honey. He guarded it like money, chased everybody from it till it wasn't even funny. And all day long you'd hear that little song. Bears don't have to share 'cause they're so strong. Well, one day by and by, while walking he did spy a big beehive of honey on a tree branch way up high. And though he never knew it, when he climbed up to it and stuck his paw inside, he became stuck to it. And just then he heard a crack. And when he looked back, the branch began to break, and he was frozen in his tracks. He slowly tried to crawl, but with that big hive on his paw, he couldn't move a muscle, or that branch would surely fall. He thought and he thought, if I could just get this hive off, it would make me light enough so I could crawl back up. But he twisted and he tore and he squirmed and he swore, and every time he moved, the branch cracked some more. Well, just then he looked up to see a crow on a branch above him, and he said, "Help me." The crow thought a while, and then he said with a smile, "If you'll share that honey, I'll pull off that hive." Well, the bear thought long about singing this little song, "Bears don't have to share 'cause they're so strong," when the branch cracked loud, and the crow flew around and pulled off the hive and dropped it to the ground. And the bear scampered back just as the loudest crack sent the branch crashing down with a great loud whack, and then stood there on the ground where the hive lay leaking honey by the pound. And then said the bear, "I didn't have a prayer. You could have flown off and left me. I died then and there." The crow said, "That's true. But if you help someone who really, really needs it, it'll come back to you." And so the crow got to eat all the honey so sweet and it stuck to his bill and his wings and his feet. And the bear sang a tune that was really brand new. Bears always share 'cause it comes back to you. And that's a story of the bear that we share. Here's a song all about all the things we need to do. What if all of a sudden they decide to pump all the Yadkin water somewhere else? Y'all wouldn't like that too much, would it? There was nothing but a dry bunch of rocks out there. Well, down in Florida, down there in the Everglades, they're pumping all the water into Miami and all those other big towns, so people can have all the water they need. But you better watch it, because if you pump it all out, the alligators are going to come to town. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. They're running out of room down at that swamp. The water getting home to town. What we gonna do when we drink it all and them alligators come to town? What will we do when we look outside and there's gators all around? There won't be anywhere that you can hide when them alligators come to town. Standing in the store in the checkout line with the big old tail just dragging behind. They'll be in the way when you mow the lawn. Scare you half to death and never pay on. Laying all over the basement stairs. You gonna move here while I wait right here. Or when you go to the kitchen to get a drink, an alligator's laying right there in the sink. Head to tip, it's good to know. Leave that water right where it goes. Alligators everywhere you go. When the alligators come to town. Big car, the big hole in the neighbor's yard. They're floating all around in that swimming pool. They shoot basketball at the gym in school. Standing line at that movie show. You be the one to go and tell him no. When you go to school, you're taking a risk. An alligator's laying there under your desk. Head to tip. It's good to know you better leave that water right where it flows. Gonna be alligators everywhere you go. When the alligators, they're gonna see you later when they come to town. I'm so glad to see you. Thank you so much for coming down here to the train station to pick me up. I've had such a long, exhausting trip, and I'm so glad to be back in Happy Valley. Goodness gracious, it's just such a good place. Home looks so good to me, but I can't wait to hear all the news that's happening, all the stuff that's. Tell me about all the stuff that's happening.
We are so glad to have you come back. We could not believe you left Happy Valley, Collinsville, Trap Hill, all these big cities, and you went off around the world. We cannot wait to hear everything you've done.
No. First, I'm the one that has to hear. I want to hear all the news. I've missed my Happy Valley so much. I want to hear all the good news. Tell me about all the great stuff.
Darling, I'm just trying to rack my brain. I just can't think since you've been gone. I'm just thinking. Let me think.
You mean nothing's happened
Oh,
since...
wait a second. Oh, I do have some pretty bad news to tell you, darling. Your little dog died while you were away.
What?
I'm so sorry.
Little frou-frou died? I can't believe that. He was healthy. He was perfectly okay when I left. What?
Melvin, he was healthy. He was fine until he ate that burnt horse flesh, and that's how your little dog died.
Burnt horse flesh? Wait a minute. Burnt horse flesh? Where in the world did my little frou-frou get a hold of some burnt horse flesh? There's no burnt horses anywhere around my...
Well, Melvin, it shocked us all too. It's when your barn burned from the top to the bottom down. Your cows, your chickens, your pigs, everything burnt up in that fire, and your little dog frou-frou just went right across that road, ate that burnt horse flesh, and that's how your dog... I'm so sorry about your dog.
You mean my barn burned down with all my animals in it and
Your little horsey and your
my
pony.
horse, and that was... What happened? My barn, there's no reason for my barn to burn down. It was out there. There was no source of fire in it.
You're right.
Did it get hit by lightning? What happened?
Well, it didn't. It was the spark from your house that went from your house to the barn. The barn burned completely down, killed all your horses and cows and chickens and pigs, and your little dog ran across the road and ate that burnt horse flesh. And that's how your dog died.
There was a spark from my house.
Yes.
My house? Why was there... What was my house burning? What?
Melvin, it was the candles in your house that caught the house on fire, that went across the road, burnt the barn down, and killed all your horses
Wait a
and chickens
minute,
and pigs, and
we
that's
don't
how your little
have-
dog died when you ate that burnt horse flesh. I'm so sorry about your
No, that can't be. We don't have any candles in our house. There's no way we could have candles in our house. We just don't have them.
Well, those candles were around the coffin. That's why you had the candles that caught the curtains on fire, just went up the wall, burned the house to the ground, burned the spark from the house went to the barn, burned the barn down. Everything was lost. I'm so sorry about your little dog, Frou-Frou.
Who died? Who in the world was in the coffin? Why was there a coffin? Who was in the coffin?
Well, Melvin, darling, it was your precious mother-in-law. I hate to tell you, but your mother-in-law passed away. We were all so sad.
Why in the world? But she was in perfect health. She'd never been sick a day in her life. What in the world happened to my poor, dear, precious mother-in-law?
Well, I hate to be the one to tell you, Melvin, but they say she died of a heart attack when she heard the news about your wife. She ran off with the Baptist preacher's wife.
What?
I'm so sorry. And other than that, your little dog died with there's been no news.
Over where I do live in Davie County, there's so many lovely little farm ponds everywhere. Yes, indeed. And in each one of those lovely little farm ponds, there resides the wily brim. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm talking about the brim. You can call it a bluegill, you can call it a sunfish, you can call it a warmouth, you can call it a red ear, you can call it whatever you want, but it's still a brim.
I win these.
And I'm here today in Happy Valley to tell each and every one of y'all that the brim is the most wonderful fish that God has put on this earth for us. Because 20 minutes after thinking about it, you too can be sitting next to your favorite pond, pulling them in right and left. And one day I was doing this wonderful thing, and I thought to myself, you know, this needs to be immortalized in verse. So I sat down and wrote the brim route. I'd rather be a fishing for the brim in the creek than a sitting here working every day this week. Ounce for ounce and pound for pound, brim is the best darn fish around. Some say that the brim ain't the fish to catch, but I say the brim ain't got no match. Some say it's the bass with the great big mouth, but I don't know what they talking about. Some say it's the crappie close to shore, but I never could have darn it big boy. Some say it's the striper down and deep, but I never caught one big enough to keep. Some say it's the trout in the mountain high, but I never did learn how to tie a fly. Some say salt water is the only way, but that's at the beach so far away. Some say that the catfish is really great, but I don't like ugly on my plate. You could be at the pond in just a little while, catching them brims sure raise a smile. Oh, come on, Mr. Brim, and bite my hook. I want to put you in my record book with the crickets and the worms and the popping bugs. That bobber goes down and you feel those tugs. Clean them on up and skin them on down. Won't be long till we're chowing down with the cornbread slaw and the brim fillets. Just remember that phrase for the rest of your days. I'd rather be a fishing for the brim in the creek than a sitting here working every day of this week. Ounce for ounce and pound for pound. You know, brim is the best darn fish around. Thank you. Oh, is everybody happy here today? I said, are you happy here today? Oh, I am too. In fact, I'm the happy man. Here's a song all about being the happy man. Really darn. I'm a happy man, well, can't you see? Nothing in this world where I'm me. Well, yeah, don't you know I'm a happy man? I'm a happy man, you know it's true. If you try real hard, you'll be happy too. Oh yeah, don't you know I'm a happy man? That's right, I'm a happy man.
He's a happy man.
I'm a happy man. He's a happy man. I said, whoa, yeah, don't you know I'm a happy man? When I walk down the street, people smile at me. This is much better than feeling blue. Oh yeah, don't you know I'm a happy man? That's right, I'm a happy man.
He's a happy man.
He's a happy man.
He's a happy man.
I said, wow, yeah, don't you know I'm a happy man? I'll say it, so happy. You know, happy is happy because I'm the happiest I ever was. Oh, yeah, don't you know I'm a happy man? You got nothing to lose, you got lots to gain. Jump on board my happy train. Oh, yeah, don't you know I'm a happy man? Oh, I'm a happy man.
He's a happy man.
I'll be a happy man.
He's a happy man.
Said, oh, yeah, don't you know I'm a happy man? Oh, I'm a happy man.
Happy man.
I'll be a happy man. I said, well, yeah, don't you know I'm a happy man? I'm so happy. Oh, I'm happy. Thank y'all so much.
And that's a happy boy.
Oh, that's on the happy meter. Isaiah's a 12 on a scale of 10. There's no doubt about
He
it.
won the cornbread. What can we say?
That's right. He won the cornbread and he's happiest out here. That's all there's to it. Well, thank y'all for listening to us so much. We're going to do one more here. And this will require your help as well. And it's self-explanatory. We thank y'all for being here today, and thank y'all for supporting Happy Valley Fiddlers Convention and acoustic music. And thank Bob right here for twisting the knobs today. Let's give Bob a nice hand. Give me that A3. I'm a midnight mockingbird. I'm the best you've ever heard. Sing all day, sing all night. Keep on singing till I get it right. Can you sing like me? Let's see. Tweet. wait,
Wait, wait.
wait, wait, wait,
Wait, wait, wait.
wait, 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 wait,
Wait, wait, wait, wait.
wait, 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 wait. I'm a midnight mockingbird. I'm the best you've ever heard. I sing all day, I sing all night. Keep on singing till I get it right. Then you sing like me. Let's see. A rear, a rear, a rear, a rear, a rear, a rear, rear, a rear, a rear, 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 a rear, 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 a rear, a rear. I'm a midnight mockingbird. I'll be the best you've ever heard. Sing all day, sing all night. Keep on singing till I get it right. Can you sing like me? Let's see. Woo-hoo! 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 I'm a midnight mockingbird. I'll be the best you've ever heard. Sing all day, sing all night. Keep on singing till I get it right. Can you sing like me? Yes, you can. Thank you all so much.